Stop. We have to start from the beginning, or else this won't make sense. Have you ever heard of the basement? Or quit fuxing for that matter? In 2020, I think the answer would probably be a resounding no. But in 2014, a little low-quality show took YouTube by storm. It was a strange concept. A bizarre-looking man in a fur vest and a pair of goggles attempted to host and review classic horror films and B-movies, a la legendary Chicago host Svengoolie. Oftentimes, Andy Avalos, the titular host of the show, would give a summary of the movies, express his own critiques and opinions, and give a final nonsensical rating. At face value, the show came off as amateur and absurdist. Each review felt like a fever dream of an impaired madman, featuring gory skits and glitchy blue screen effects. You would think such a show would never gain traction, however you'd be wrong. Between 2014 and 2016, The Basement gained a vocal following, becoming a hidden YouTube gem. Everything was looking good for Andy Avalos until channel mismanagement, personal vices, greed, and copyright lawsuits sent all his success down the drain. Bizarrely, after accomplishing all his goals, Andy ran off and disappeared. I'm going to attempt to explain what happened to Andy. Hopefully I don't sound too bitter, but I need everyone to know that I once worked on the production of The Basement. And in order to move forward, I feel the need to expose the man behind the basement. The man behind the goggles.
The end, bitch.
Our story begins in 2008. Andy was attending Columbia College in Chicago, a private institution specializing in arts and media. There, Andy practiced his writing and began acting in school plays. However, by 2011, Andy dropped out with big dreams of producing his own projects, but lacking the funds to do so. It was around this time he met Christian Fox, a business major at DePaul University. The two shared interest in starting a production company together. Christian Fox would handle the business side of things, and Andy would be in charge of writing and directing. Together they created Quit Fuxing. After Quit Fuxing was formed, Andy began hiring for his first project, The Basement. You ready?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm speaking with Andy's personal makeup artist, Miss Mary Schützen.
That's me.
Who hired you, or how'd you get in touch with Quit Fuxing?
Well, it's more of they got in touch with me because I had just recently back in that period of time, had just recently gotten my makeup artistry license. And I applied for a bunch of makeup artist jobs, and this was the opportunity that happened to fall on my lap.
Did you know what Quit Fuxing was about when you signed on?
No, I didn't know it was gonna be this fucking I did not expect this, that is for sure.
Can you identify yourself for the viewers and talk about your role on the production of The Basement?
Yeah, for the sake of this interview, I was a sound technician on The Basement Show, and I handled all their audio on the show past season 1. After that, I also became a little bit of their IT technician at Quit Fuxing. Since it was such a small staff, just kind of decided to help out, become part of the team.
How did you get your start as an audio technician, and who reached out to hire you?
I got my audio start around 2008. I was working with a local band by the name of Imperial Caravan, trying to break into the music scene. Tested out a few other local bands. It wasn't working out, wasn't making any money for me. And around 2014, I was contacted by Mary Schützen. She got in touch with me. She said she wanted to get me in for a paying role as an audio technician, and we went from there.
Then you met Andy, right, at the Quit Fuxing headquarters?
Yeah, that's actually when I met him. It was at the Basement studio. We were all there.
What was your first impression of Andrew when you met him?
He came off as a really nice guy. Really genuine, sort of goofy, eccentric.
Can you go a little further with that? What do you mean exactly?
Well, you remember those goggles he would wear on the show? He would also wear those in real life a lot. It was a little unsettling.
What was it like working with Andrew on set of The Basement?
It was crazy, just straight craziness. Andy was a star and a creator, but he was hardly on the set. He wouldn't show up right until he was about to film. Honestly, Mary was on driving that whole show.
I've been asking a few people about this, and no one's been able to give me a straight answer, but what's with the goggles?
So, I try my best every day as a makeup artist. Sometimes your best is just not enough, and this asshole would always come in every day. These bruises, and it just, I'm just like, what, you get in a bar fight?
A lot of people talk about how he had vices, personal issues. Is this anything you've seen or can confirm?
He had tons of vices. One time he made me drive out to the exit just to pick him up because he was fucked up in the bathroom. He had done a few lines too.
Andy was allegedly stealing company funds and spending excessive amounts of money in his personal life. Is this anything that you can confirm?
Shit, he owes me money, man. He was reckless with that money. He spent it stupidly, man. I kid you not. He spent $700 just on Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Wow, that's insane.
No, I am serious. I've seen him steal from Christian. The Quit Fuxing financier, he lied about it too. Right to his face, paid me off not to say anything. Whatever Mary says about him is true.
So I gotta say about this guy. Fuck.
Can you talk about what Andrew was like off camera?
Andy, he has a heart of gold, but he's very dysfunctional. Very dysfunctional. A lot of the time he'll always, he'll berate himself almost for being an illegitimate child. It's nuts, but I mean, he's always going on about, his dad this, my dad that, oh, I'm letting down my dad.
You seem to have a better relationship than most people working at that company. Was it purely professional, or I'm getting a feeling that you might have been more than friends?
At one point, yes. I mean, I still consider him very dear to my heart. He'll always be a friend to me. I mean, his anger, it was over,
I know some stuff, man.
little things, like if his
We'll be
soup
back.
was too hot.
We're talking about the blue planet, man.
It would just be,
So let's not talk about this movie.
it would just be the end of the world, for him.
In the end, you were more in charge of what was going on day to day than he was.
Yes. Yeah, eventually I pretty much just became his assistant. Not just makeup, just answering calls, reading, answering emails. Pretty much handling his finances, to some degree, his personal finances.
Have you talked to him or been in touch with him or anything? We've been wanting to reach out to him.
Oh, Mary Jane, hey.
Actually, I have to get going.
Do you have any idea where he could be?
Now, I wish I knew where he was so I could get my money back. But if you ask me, man, a good place to start would be his brother David.